Sat down by the river's edge, wind whispering low, moonlight on the water, like a path I used to know.
It's Sunday morning. I'm headed over to Matt Ullman's, who's the carpenter that's making our mast. It's raining, it's cold, it's snowing in Macon. It's not snowing here, but it is raining and cold and windy and pretty nasty. I don't think I'm going to go up to Valona today. It's just not any need. But so that weather came in like expected. It didn't snow here, but we're still making progress. I got to drop this epoxy off over there with Matt, and he's going to start laying up the mast this week, which will be good. So hang on a second and I'll introduce you to Matt. All right, here we are. I'm right here with Matt Ullman. He's the one that's making my mast. He has this awesome little shop over here. Look at this. The place is amazing. I could get lost and stay in here for years. So Matt has found us some wood. What is your idea on this wood?
What I'm going to do is laminate 3 pieces together to get the width so that we can have the bend in the mast so that it fits where the existing one was. And then we'll laminate it together, put it to shape, and then get it all shined up and polished and ready to go.
What kind of wood is this, Matt?
This is red Grandis. It's a sustainable product from Australia. It's I believe it's Grandis eucalyptus. And it's a red eucalyptus, but it's very durable. It's similar in character to, say, sapele or African mahogany.
So that's perfect, Matt. So he's going to get us all fixed up, and it'll be fun to watch along with the progress of this. Matt has done all kind of projects around St. Simon's. He built the bar at Southern Soul. He built the bar at Mallory Street Cafe. So he's done a lot of projects around here, and we're certainly glad he's involved in helping String of Pearls. We'll be able to see this, for miles around. So thanks a lot, Matt, and we'll catch up with him later on. What a nice guy he is. Hell of a pool player, too, in case you're looking for a game of pool. That's been really one of the fun things about this whole project and about living down here is that you get to talking to people, and next thing you know, they go from being just a guy that's sitting around playing pool to turns out a master carpenter who really builds really cool stuff. And I am really grateful for Matt for helping me and getting involved in this, and really looking forward to how that project comes out. I've got a new GoPro camera coming next week, which will be better, because then I can get better camera situation going. This front is blowing through and the weather is clearing up. You might be able to see it when we get up here, but it's cold. It's 41 degrees. I'm not sure what it's going to be like in the morning, so we're going to have to figure it out. But there's the end of that front. See the edge of those clouds up there. So I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow. I'll talk to Paul and James tonight, and we'll figure it out. But it's not great weather here. So I always get worried like crazy about this stuff, and then all of a sudden they start getting it going, and I get to feeling better. And Paul is going to do a great job getting these new backing blocks in there. We're doing that out of cedar. There's our cedar wood over there. And so he gets it all cut out and put back together, and they got it going in. So I'm starting to feel better. It's still too cold to epoxy, but it's with the weather this week is expected to warm up. So this is Paul Rogers, everybody. Paul is our master shipwright that's leading all the construction. And every time I get all wigged out and freaked out, he calms me down. Paul, what do you think about all this stuff?
I think everything's going well and we're on time.
Okay, and it seems like the weather is going to be warming up this week, so we'll make some progress, right?
Yeah, we got some paint on, get the wood finished.
And we'll be back down the hill. Well, there you have it, folks. So Paul has got us feeling real good, and we sure appreciate him and all the work he's doing. Guys, y'all not gonna believe this. I'm back up here at this hardware store in Darien that I was telling y'all about, and they have these screws. You can't even imagine how hard these screws are to find, and they got them. And I'm buying every one they've got. I've got 2 or 3 bins of them coming up here, just because I've never been able to find them. They got them back there in a bin. This is the greatest hardware store in the history of Earth. And y'all just are not even going to believe this. I'm back up here at First Georgia Hardware and Marine in Darien, Georgia. Not a sponsor, but they might as well be because how nice they are. But look, so I had to get, Paul just fussed at me because we don't have any of these, and he's trying to get that wood in the boat. And I don't have any of these, and these are bronze. These are bronze screws. And they have a whole specific name, and I just tried to call a guy a second ago and describe them. He was like, man, I don't even know what you're talking about. He thought I was talking gibberish. And so I came up here because I had to get a saw blade. Get that sign in the background so you can see it. So I came up here to get a saw blade for a table saw, and I just happened to go to ask around, hey, you guys got any of these things? And they had bins of them. And so I just bought every one they had. And she says she can get more. and they're the nicest people and just delightful to deal with. It's a family business, and they're just all delightful. So again, I just cannot, it just has restored my faith in humanity that these people are so great and have exactly what I needed, exactly the moment I needed it. So, all right, let's go back to the boat and get them in. I went and got a new saw blade because the last time, as you can see, when we were cutting this wood, it was really smoking and taking forever. So we decided to get a new saw blade and get it installed. It took us a minute to figure out how to do it. I don't think I've ever put a new saw blade in this table saw, and so it was about time that we did, and James finally got it installed. Put it on backwards. That's a little better. Getting started drilling out the wood. We have to come in and sister these frames. Any of these frames that have gotten degraded or whatever, they allow us to do a process called sistering, where basically you put a piece of wood right beside them, and then we'll fasten it with these bronze screws, and then we epoxy it in there as well. That's where the term glued and screwed comes from. And so they're dry fitting it all right now, and they're drilling out the holes, and then all these will be countersunk and secured in there. This is a good feeling for me, seeing this new wood going back in the boat. You know, it's really good that we're making some progress here. This is fantastic. We feel like we've done some good work today. Paul and James really got after it, and they did a tremendous job here on getting all the frames sistered. My understanding is that when the little frames are redundant on this boat because it's a monocoque hull, and so we don't really need them, but they do provide you something to, it provides some structure while you're putting in new planks. So anyway, it's allowed in good practice to sister these frames. We don't have to chisel them out completely and completely replace them. We just put some next to it, and they got all that done today. So the frames are all sistered, and then tomorrow we're just going to be squaring up the edges, and we'll get started on plank installation tomorrow. So that's great. We've gone pretty fast today, so good for us. All right, I'll see you in the morning. It's freezing out here this morning, and I don't have my coat on, but hey, look, this is Lewis Auto Glass, and these guys are great. These are our front windows, and they did a super job. Hang on, and I'll turn you around real quick. Hang on. These are the front windows that go back in the boat, and they have cleaned up all my bronze frames, and they have put Lexan in here. So we've got nice, very thick Lexan panels in here now, and I'm about to go talk to the guy that's going to tint them for us. So I'm pretty excited about this. They did a great job cleaning everything up. They're going to look great on the front of the boat. Lewis Auto Glass, right here in Brunswick, Georgia. These people are fantastic. Give them a call. Hey everybody. So it's the next day, and we're up here trying to get these planks in, and one of the things we've discovered is we've discovered the culprit of the reason all this wood failed on us, and it's because of the little scupper. So I've been spending all day on the phone trying to find a plumber up here that can come by and fix it, and we think we've got one tracked down. But I will tell you, it's been hard to get a hold of one up here. Hang on a second, I'll show you. So it's that pipe right there. See it? That's the one that's the problem. That's the troublemaker. So we've gotten on the phone and have enlisted some local support, hopefully, and somebody's going to be by here in just a little while that'll be able to patch that. And we got a couple of days because they're just now getting the wood fitted and dry fit. So the first thing they'll do is dry fit those planks, and then, but once they're getting ready to go in forever, they'll be in forever, and until they rot out. So that's what we're up to up here, and you can see they're working on those planks right now, starting to get them set. And that's that good 2-inch mahogany. So we're working on it. Boy, it's been frustrating though, trying to find somebody to come help. All right, see you in a little bit. Tuesday afternoon out here, and it feels pretty good when you're in the sun. When you're in the shade, it's cold. But we're in the sun. We've about wrapped up for today. James and Paul have headed on back down the hill, and we're still up here. Jake and them are still working. It's warm enough now to squirt some epoxy in, so they're squirting epoxy in, and we got here. I'll turn around and show you what all we've got done. Hang on. We've got that plank fitted over there. See if I can get you on this better camera. We've got that plank fitted. Hang on, good grief. Oh, it's freezing in the shade. So that plank's fitted there. And it'll move pretty quickly now and fit in these other planks. That first one's always a bear. And so I had to run in and get some new drill bits. And it's hard to find good slot head drill bits anymore. We've investigated on that leak up there and found out that the leak is really not in the pipe itself. It's actually in where it comes through the deck. So that's it. That's helpful and useful. We don't have to have a plumber after all. We just have to have, when we get back, we'll just dig all that out and reseed it. And so that's better. And look, she's up under there. You didn't tell me what your name was. What's your name?
April.
All right, so look, April is much better than me. Look, she's up under there painting so we can get the zincs on. Her family's been in shrimp business for a long time, and she knows all about this stuff. She's better than me. Look at her up under there painting. And so we're making progress and gaining on it. I feel like we're doing okay, and I feel like we're going to be all right. I know Matt wants us out of here pretty quick, and we want to be out of here pretty quick and get the old girl back going. We need this weather to keep on cooperating and warming up, and we'll make some progress. All right, I'm going to catch up with you guys later on. Good morning, everybody. It's Captain Matt here. We're up at the boat, as you can see, and we've got a few updates for you this morning. We've had the Coast Guard come up here, and we're going to have to delve into it, but they're trying to figure out some regulations that may monitor how we do. We may have to cut out a little more wood than we thought we might have to. Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Cut out more wood just to put new wood back in it. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but we're gonna delve into that and see what it says. James is up there right now. He's working on that. So and Paul's helping him. Paul's got to leave a little bit early today, but they're over there working on that. What else is going on? My guys came back out today and finished fixing all the through holes, so we've gotten credit for all of that. They've checked that off. They've checked off everything except this hole repair and a little bit more on the keel. But it's warm enough today, so I think we'll be able to do that work today. So that's encouraging. So we should be on track here. Depending on what the weather does this weekend, we ought to be on track to be looking to move out in the next few days. They're talking about ice storm and cold weather this weekend. I don't think the ice storm will make it here, but up in middle Georgia. But that'll slow us down. It's going to rain here for sure, and that'll slow us down. But we will get as much done as we can today. And let's go take a look real quick. This will work. I just need to line it out over here so there's no crack.
Did you say that chisel was up there? It is, yeah.
Going on. So Paul is cleaning out that little area right over in there along the keel. And I think we're going to put a little block of wood in there and then epoxy that in. James is finished and squaring up this. We got to take a little bit more wood out so that we can basically we've got to have the ends of the boards not line up. And so that's what James is up there doing now. He's cutting us out for that. And then we got Jake under here. He's putting this good bearing compound in on the hull there. On these little pockets. Kind of obnoxious, isn't it? I had to go buy a bunch of those little saw blades today. I think I spent like $150 on them. They're expensive. Okay, now just to prove to y'all that I can do some of this stuff myself, look, here's a sander, and I'm gonna take right here, that little crack, I'm gonna open this crack up a little bit, and we're gonna fill it with epoxy. I'm gonna do it, so I'll show you how we'll do that in just a second. Okay, so as you can see, I've come along in here and opened this up, and it's pretty clean in there. So I'm just now gonna put thickened epoxy in there and seal it all up. We won't have a problem with this area anymore. Well, there's that repair, folks. It looks good under there. Of course, I got it all over me. But at least that repair is done. Pretty happy with that. See, I can do stuff still on this boat. And then up under there, that's where they did that repair. Jake's on the other side doing some more right now. And then we're over here painting up front. She's up there painting. Getting that good bottom paint on there. Taking it nice and easy. It's another day up here at the boat. And today is Friday. We've got weather moving in tomorrow. And then it's going to get cold again and nightmare again. But today it's nice. And we are getting some things done. Coast Guard's going to be out here in just a few minutes. But right now we've got, which is great to see, fairing compound going on. And that's great to see. And then James is going to finish trimming up those areas. We trimmed that back yesterday and got that board in. So boards have to be at least 5 feet long, and you can't have butt seams lining back up with each other, so they have to be separate, which those are. And so every board has to be staggered. And so the Coast Guard will come out here today and hopefully look at all this and say that we're doing a good job. Hopefully we don't have to get all aggro with them. I wanted to show you guys the results of my little repair that I did here. So that turned out okay. Trying not to get all muddy today on my feet. But that little area back there looks great, I think. They've already started getting a lot of the bottom paint on. And so that's looking good. The zincs are on. And they'll just come in here. That's a repair that we made yesterday. All this stuff is looking good. And I do think with the colder weather coming, that I'll bet you $1 to a donut what we end up doing is I bet you we end up going back home and painting the hull there. I bet is what we have to end up doing. Let's see how the other side looks. See if I can get over here without falling. Matt and his group have done a super job of helping us out this week, or at least 3 weeks. Oh yeah, this repair looks good under here. They've gotten all of that filled in under there. We have all this filled in back here. That looks great. Yeah, we'll be ready to go back down next week. And that's what we'll do. And then we'll wait for it to warm up down there. I just think that's probably the right thing. All right, I'll see you in a second. Let's see what's going to happen. Be right back. Well, here we are. We're up here in Valona still. Man, you talk about gnats. There are gnats out today like you just wouldn't believe. I mean, it's just clouds of them. You can't stand still. You got to keep moving. The Coast Guard's still here. They're over there messing around. But they're doing a good job and doing their inspection. We'll see what they have to say in a minute. They're being very thorough. And we're supposed to have that weather moving in, so we're going to get as much done today as we can. But I'll give you an update in a minute, just as soon as the Coast Guard gets done. Shoot, I had to come sit in the truck. The gnats are driving me crazy out there today, guys. Look. All right, so the Coast Guard's still over there messing around, writing stuff down. I don't know. I hate to have to get into an argument with them about things, but if they come back and say some crazy stuff, I'm going to argue with them. So we'll just see. Hopefully this all goes well. We're out of epoxy, so I got to go find some epoxy. And I need to do that before I got to leave today to go out of town. And I got to get them epoxy up here before I leave. All right, standing by. Okay, so I made it back up here. Tide's coming in, it's almost high tide. But look, James got finished and didn't even fall in. He got finished with the transom. The transom looks great. So that's really great. I'm pretty stoked about that. He just shook himself off a minute ago. He's pretty dusty. All right, so this is going to wrap it up for us from Valona for the week. It's supposed to get bad weather tomorrow and then cold first of the week. But I just got back from getting epoxy, and the epoxy that I got says it'll work. It's a fast hardener, so it'll work up to like 40 degrees or something like that down to. So we ought to be able to get some stuff done next week. And so yeah, so a pretty good week so far. Thanks to everybody for watching and helping. James, thanks for all you guys for doing. And look, there's April over there. She's been helping all week. Crawling up under there. I don't know how she does it. I couldn't do it. But tide's coming in. I think it's still coming in. Maybe it's already peaked, but we'll be back to get the rest done and hopefully maybe even get out of here next week. Who knows? The Coast Guard's coming back Thursday, so we'll see. All right, see you guys then. Guys, I've made a surprise visit north. I'm going to try and film some ice and snow, but boy, do I have a treat for y'all. Stand by. All right, here we are. We're in the Royal Peasant. They just call this the pub. This place is amazing. I've just had the best lamb stew you can have. And so look here. I'm here with my mother and my oldest brother, Uncle Howard. And so I'm up here. I've made a surprise visit to Athens, and here we are. And so I want to know what my mom thinks about all this crazy stuff that I do. All right, Mom, what about the String of Pearls boat? What do you think about this project that I'm doing?
I think it's wonderful. I would love to go on it. I think he's doing a great job. People love to see the rivers, and that knows all about the history of St. Simon's and Sea Island, and I think it's great.
We were just talking about this, and the history of our family is, I believe that your first date with my father was on St. Simon's, is that right?
It certainly was at the Oasis Bar. Not many people would remember that, but I love the Oasis.
Okay, so our family history goes all the way back to the early 50s when they had that date. Uncle Howard, what do you think about me doing all this boat stuff and all that? What do you think about it?
I think it's great. I really do. You're very talented at what you do. You're very knowledgeable at what you do. I think it's really great that you're taking up. That you're taking up all of this. That's really good.
So you've been up here. We've had an awesome lunch. It's about to be freezing rain up here, but we're day drinking. We're drinking IPAs and some kind of pale ale that he's having, or amber beer, and we've had lamb stew and seafood stew. We're having a great time. This is a really awesome restaurant if y'all are ever in Athens. It's the Royal Peasant in 5 Points. Tell them about the Royal Peasant.
It was established about 16 years ago. It's like an English pub. They greet you at the door with your favorite beverage. They have great food, and it's great conversation, and it's a wonderful place to come in Athens.
So when you're in Athens, Georgia, the Royal Peasant, or just the pub as we call it, is the place to go. But that's Uncle Howard, and that's Boo, my mother, and thank y'all. And now you know a little bit more about me. That was my mother. She's a real force of nature. Mom and Uncle Howard, everybody in that whole place knows her. She goes there all the time, and she's really quite the legend around Athens. So it's freezing cold here. It's about to be an ice storm, but I think we'll be okay. I'm gonna head back tomorrow. I may film a little out where I'm staying, I don't know. But we'll be back in St. Simon's tomorrow.
And the road keeps rolling through my mind. So I ride on the highway to the moonlight, where the shadows dance and the stars unfold. If the night keeps singing, I'll follow till the morning finds my soul. Met a stranger in a small town bar. Said he'd been chasing that falling star. Told me, son,